This is the Entertainment Roundup for October 30th, 2012. I'm J77, and I'm going to get right straight to it because a lot of big things have happened, especially within the last 24 to 48 hours. I'm also going to touch on other news that is entertainment related, but I might as well touch on this first. Might as well start it off with the news that Walt Disney is now got the rights to Star Wars, something I never thought possible, thought I never would actually seen in in terms of George Lucas passing the guard over to another company, let alone another director and producer. But that is exactly what happened. George Lucas has sold the rights to Star Wars as well as Lucasfilms. It is now under the umbrella of Walt Disney. In return, Lucas gets a whole lot of cash plus stocks within the Walt Disney Company. Within these 24, 48-hour gap between the announcement and people getting news, we have seen a lot of videos. We see a lot of people voicing their comments, their opinions, and so no surprise, it's very, very mixed in terms of the fanboys, fangirls' reactions towards the people who love the Star Wars franchise and still want to see more despite the not so popular prequels. And many people feel that Disney could bring new life to the series, while others think it's a big mistake and they will actually ruin the franchise uh, much further than what it already has. My feeling is all the arguments that is being thrown out there, whether by video or by blog or by even podcast, all have good arguments in terms of their feelings towards Disney buying the rights to Star Wars, as well as Lucasfilms, and as well as the movie that they are pushing for 2015. A lot of stuff actually is based on past experience with other properties, past and current, and it does raise the question of how Disney is going to promote this franchise. Will it be all children's style Star Wars that will be catered just for the kids, or are they going to make it more darker, for more adult oriented for older viewers? And that's where the major argument is. Another thing is that just because Disney has got the rights to the Star Wars franchise doesn't necessarily mean they're planning to do great things with the franchise. A perfect example is that Disney, for a while, at least up to 2 years ago, had the rights to the Power Rangers, and it was very clear that their desire that it was just to make money over the reruns and the toys they was going to pull out. They actually had planned to cancel this on more than one occasion, and it wasn't for the diehard people behind the storyline as well as behind the production that actually kept the series alive. They would have been canceled. Years later, they're still going strong, and now back in the property of Saban, which is now being currently on Nickelodeon. But Disney, again, this was a move when they acquired it. They didn't really understand the Power Rangers, nor did they. I don't think he really cared about it. They just there to make money over it. If they can't make money over it, then they probably would have canceled it. But they still had a very strong fan base, more so than I ever thought imaginable, and that's why that show have never got canceled under the Disney umbrella. What I'm not saying that's going to happen with Star Wars. Star Wars has a very strong fan base, and not just through the movies, but the books. The books is really what kept that universe alive, and probably will keep it alive for years to come. I think the main concern is how they're going to approach making these films. A lot of people do not want to rehash of the prequels. I can understand that. The prequel was more special effect based than it was story based, and that really hurt these prequels more so than anything else. You can tell there was not much effort in terms of story, in terms of dialogue, but more of throwing stuff in your face. And I always, like I said, special effects is only as good as the story that's being supposed to be carried. When you are letting the special effects carry the story along, it's not always a good thing because it shows the laziness of the writing, and it showed a lot throughout throughout those three films that George Lucas himself had direct. With that being said, this is not George Lucas' goal. I know he's going to stay on as a consultant, but make no mistake about it, he will not have as much power as people think. And I think that's the big thing. I think people need to understand when coming into these movies. I want to see how Disney's going to do. If Disney said there's going to be the movie come out in 2015, obviously there was actually been some work behind the scenes that has not been announced, and we're only getting it just now. So if they're planning to do a new Star Wars universe that is not even connected to the Lucas clan, that would be cool. I actually will be looking forward to that. Again, this can go either way. I think that I want to see what they have in store. I want to see what their main plan is. Keep in mind, they say it's gonna be out in 2015. Doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna actually be released 2015. Things changes, storyline changes. I just like this. It's good. We're gonna have a new, fresh look of Star Wars. We have a new, fresh take on this franchise. However, how they plan to go about it, I think that's where the people are more concerned, and they have a right to be concerned. But I'm not gonna jump for joy. Nor I'm gonna say, oh, this is a terrible mistake. I'm just saying, okay, Disney has it. Let's see what Disney does. For one thing, I would say, for most of Disney property they own, they really haven't went all the way to put their 2 cents into these franchises. You hardly notice anything different with the Iron Man series. From the trailer of Iron Man 3, it looks like it hasn't seen much effect. It looks darker than what the other two are. They're definitely moving forward for Avengers 2. So their property, their say in what goes on is probably just basically more on the budget strain than anything else. You probably will never see Walt Disney Pictures Presents, unless it's probably in the animation department. Even that, you rarely know the difference. So I think they're going to do fine. I don't think they have that much of a problem. Granted, they do have a reputation with other stuff. I understand that. They didn't have a great year with movies. I think the Brave was the only film that actually was a blockbuster hit. Every other film that came out after that pretty much bombed in theaters, whether it be by blockbusters or just by reviews. But in all, I have more faith in Disney that they'll actually do some good justice with Star Wars. So I'm looking forward for it. I'm looking forward to see how they do, and that's the best way I can say it. So I just think give it some time. You know there's going to be more developing stories as we go along. So all I'm going to say is let's see what Disney does. Give Disney a chance. Don't go nuts. Don't moan. And for those who are complaining, really, you guys got to calm down a little bit, because let's be honest, you're the same people who actually complain about the George Lucas thing, and rightfully so. So let's see what Disney does. Disney is not George Lucas. The people they're going to be in charge of the story, in terms of the writing, they're not George Lucas. Yeah, George Lucas is still involved in some form, but not in the way that everybody expected. So keep in mind of that. So I'm just looking forward to see what Disney does. And who knows, they may surprise us as the company that brought Star Wars back to credibility. Because let's be honest, Star Wars hasn't been credible. The only thing that actually have done some good, and that's because George Lucas really didn't have his hand on it, was the animated series. Star Wars, the Clone Wars, have actually gotten rave reviews for a lot of people. There's actually people who actually got into the Star Wars animated series. So that tells a lot, and I think that's there's still a fan base there if you do the story right, and that's something I actually am looking forward to. So just give it a chance. As for the year-by-year movie release, as for that, I don't know what to say about that. I know they did some changes. I know that they're not doing it that's the way that George Lucas have, and that was the reaction towards the Phantom Menace. Many people, I mean, it made money and they added it with the other films, but let's be realistic. It wasn't like some people was flocking over to see it. I think they wanted to see it because the fact is it wasn't 3D. Whatever extras they had, but let's be realistic here. When people saw it in 3D and they saw what it was, they was not impressed. The 3D was not great, and word of mouth got along, and before you know, we didn't even hear anything about the Phantom Menace. But from what I understand from the news report, they're not doing it year by year anymore. I think they changed that real quick. You'll probably get 2 films coming out the same year. That's what I believe. So a lot of films are being pushed up. So don't be surprised that within the next 2.5, or even 3 years, all those movies that were supposed to be in 3D is already out. So you don't have to pretty much wait as long as you were if he would have done it year by year. But I think because of the poor reception it has with the Phantom Menace and the way people said this 3D didn't make much difference, I think he's gonna pull out a lot quicker than what it is. They already announced they are going to be taking two films in the same year. So just give it time. I think that's what the best to come. Look, you don't have to watch every Star Wars in 3D. You know which one is your favorite. So just if you don't want to watch the Clone Wars or Adventure of the Sith, then fine, just don't watch it. But I think he understands that now, and that's probably why they're pushing it up more than the original schedule plan. So that's just my feeling on that matter. But in all, I think it's a blockbuster deal. Yes, it is. This goes in the line of Pixar. This goes in the line of other stuff they require with Marvel. This also goes in the lines of their other movie production, TriStar Pictures. So yeah, this is the Berline Vision, aka Disney, is pretty much collecting the franchises. That's the best way I could say it. They're all collecting the franchises. So leave your feelings on that. My feeling is, let's wait and see. That's the best way I can tell you. Okay, let's get on to other news that's been happening right now. Other news that have reached the entertainment world. Madonna is finding herself in a lot more trouble these days than I actually expected her to be. She's not made Russia very happy with her concert tour, telling about the stand up for the anti-gay law that was passed over there at the Capitol, which is something I definitely disagree with, but that's a story from the time. From the Pussy Riot situation, how that pretty much sparked anger to the point where now Russia is trying to ask her to come to that country to answer charges, which could include jail time, which I don't think Madonna is going to do, nor is the United States going to try and deport her. But doesn't mean that she has actually done some controversy of her own in the States. And needless to say, she had gotten a very negative reaction in New Orleans, Louisiana. This happens in a concert where she basically said, I don't care who you vote for, as long as you vote for Obama, drawing rules and taunting Obama over Republican Matt Romney. Madonna follows series, I don't care who you vote for, you don't take this privilege for granted, go vote. That's pretty much her retraction, saying I don't care, don't take this privilege for granted, a vote. And she's right. A lot of young guns out there, a lot of young people do not think voting is serious. It is. I can't stress that more. You're exercising your constitutional principle, and I think that's something that everybody should take seriously. Too many people who don't take it seriously and always go by that countries don't have that privilege, and as a result, you have dictators and people who don't respect other people's human rights, let alone the rights of others who is supposed to be governed over them. They throw out votes. They basically say, the hell with it, I'm still going to be in there. And as a result, you have wars, you have death, you have violence, all because a person's hunger for power. We don't have that. We have the power to vote somebody out if we don't like them. We have the power to vote them in if we think they're going to do some good. What I don't like is when people give excuses about, well, things ain't changed. Why should I vote? It's because the fact is, when you vote, you're making your voices be heard, period. One vote means a lot. Trust me. Trust me, your vote does matter. Now, for the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the way the Material Girl went about doing this, and the way she's been doing it in general with how she's been promoting. I understand that she's a big Obama supporter. That's fine. But I say this before, just like I say with a lot of Republicans or so-called corporations who believe they have their best interests in heart, which they do not. They're there to make money, and that's it, and they shouldn't try to use their own political gains to try and persuade and influence people, or even threaten people to vote for a particular party. What Madonna did, in my opinion, was no different than what the corporation has done. Look, you want to support Obama, that's fine. You go out and you say what your reason is. but you don't go out and say it alone. Yes, you vote for Obama, because that's trying to persuade your political and your own views at people, and they may not take that likely. And this is a perfect example. Now, I don't know what Louisiana is going to vote for. That's not my concern. I don't care what Louisiana voters vote for. As long as they vote, they're fine by me. But the one thing I always do, I don't try and influence, I don't try and force people's opinion to sway them to vote the other way. They pretty much know what's going on. And if they're not, then that's just simply on them. But they should know what's going on. They should know why they're voting for, based on their own stance on how things are going on around them, their own personal beliefs, and that's how most of the people are going to vote for anyway. And thirdly, I said before, I said again, it's none of my business who you vote for. I really don't. I may have a feeling against Mitt Romney, I may have a feeling against Obama, but that's just me. I'm going to vote for the reasons that I feel comfortable with. Just the same like if anybody else is going to vote for out there. As long as you do vote, I don't even care if you vote for a third party. As long as you exercise that right, that's fine. But what Moddina did, I think she went a little bit too far. I really do. I really do. In this article that I'm reading right now, it says that Moddina is a little bit outspoken. And I'm more upset with this situation than I am with her trying to voice her political views. Because, like I said, there's Hank Aaron Jr. who does it all the time, and it does it worse than I am, and I actually lost respect because it was very clear that he's being Hank Williams Jr. It's very clear that it's more racially motivated than political, and I don't got time for that. But that's his concert, that's his fans, and he's gonna have to answer to that down the road when the time is right. And I'm talking about in terms of his concerts, his record sales, and his demographic. But in terms of this, with what Moddina did in Colorado, this is where I'm more upset about with Moddina, because obviously she's being insensitive towards a horrible act, a very horrible act where people's lives has been lost. And I'm referring to the Colorado shooting that happened in a Dark Night premiere. In this concert, Moddina used a fake gun to shoot a masked gunman in a recent concert act in Denver. And this is something I'm not very happy to see at all. I mean, she should have been more sensitive. She should have known better. There are people trying to recover from that, and the fact that you have this act being performed, first of all, is uncomfortable, and second of all, it's just wrong and disrespectful. And that's something I'm not feeling. Another incident happened in Paris in July when a video showed a swastika on a politician's forehead. So I don't know what Moddina is trying to do. She's just all over the place, voicing opinions and views. And to me, it can become to be too political, too forced, to the point where it's just forcing your stuff, forcing your views on people, to the point where you're being insensitive and downright offensive. And that's where I think Material needs to slow down. Seriously, she needs to slow down. There was no reason why your concert should include a fake gun and you shooting at a mass gunman in a Colorado concert. In Denver, Colorado, I don't understand why you chose that was right. What was the situation? What's with the swastika on a politician's forehead? What's that all about? So to me, she's doing a lot of stuff, and to her, she may feel like she's creating a message, but to others, she's just being offensive and she's being insensitive. And I think somebody needs to pull her aside and say, "Yo, you need to slow down." I mean, I know you've been a reputation of being controversial. That's been your stick, but you're going a little bit too far, and people are getting a little bit fed up about it. I'm getting a little fed up about it, especially with the situation in Denver. There's no need for that. But you guys may think differently. You guys may think that this is not a big deal. You guys think this is Moddina being Moddina. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you feel about that. I will leave a link to the article. You guys can vote in your own opinion on that matter. I'd like to hear your feeling on that. But to me, I think she's being a little bit, just a little bit out there with that. I think she needs to step back and take it easy. Really, really take it easy. So on a lighter news, I might as well get to some news here, some good news for a change. God knows we don't have that too many often right now. So I might as well go to something that happened in the Billy Idol. Billy Idol did a played at a fan's birthday party in Seattle. This was a very big gesture for Billy Idol. I got nothing really negative to say about it. It's actually pretty cool. Billy Idol has done had it at a Showbox Show Do Club. I believe that's what they call it. Idol guitarist Stevens played him "Happy Birthday" in the middle of a solo. Then Idol called the kid up into the stage for I believe rendition of a song. The '80s cover band opened up the show. The Idol said that Han Richardson offered stood out from the other fans' requests because his campaign involved 4 Billy Idol A ads, charity concert that raised $13,000 for his Northwest Harvard Food Bank and an American Red Cross. Idol said playing Hinson's party in Seattle might help fans see another side to him. Now, I'm not a big Idol fan. I have not any of his albums, so I don't know what he meant by that. Obviously, you guys who are Billy Idol fans can fill me up. What his reputation is, what he has done. Obviously, he's one of probably the wild rock bands that was out there. Probably got in a lot of trouble. Probably didn't get a good reputation by the media. I can't say that, say I heard of the name, never really followed his albums, but I can say what I heard from this article. Good move from Idol. Thought it was a good gesture. I know it's somebody who's a famous musician that I want to play at my birthday party actually does it. I'll be pretty much in goosebumps, pretty much in tears. Yeah, I'll admit I'll be in tears. And I pretty much will thank him for probably giving me the best night of my life, especially in the birthday match. So this is actually a good gesture from him, and actually a good gesture for the kid who had raised, I believe, it raised $13,000 for Nationwide Harvest Food Bank and American Red Cross. So yeah, it works both ways. So definitely his efforts stood out the most. So he got a reward for it. So no problem. I have no problem with this. This is actually a good article. I thought to touch up on it. Granted, it's not long, but you don't need to be long. I will leave a long link to it so you guys can check it out yourself. There's actually a couple pictures. If you guys have the link, there will be a couple pictures of him singing as well as the kid who he's singing for. It looked like he's beside himself. Shook hands with him. And again, this is a pretty decent article. And again, like I said, I don't know. Again, I don't know what the other side of him means. It may be just a gesture that people gave him a sign as a bad boy. But to me, for this day, there's a soft side, and I'm actually glad to actually see that some stars could take the time out of their busy schedule to do something like that. So, well done from him. Okay, it's been a very long week, guys. As you guys know, I'm cutting this short. I actually originally was going to talk about this, but I'm going to leave it as a separate article. Basically because of a lot of things have changed in this article. I might as well touch on a video, or I'm sorry, audio that I've done a few days ago involving the Jefferson thing. I might as well give you a little update. I don't. There hasn't been much to report on that. A lot of people was a little bit mixed on this video. Look, like I said before, like I say this because this is actually my normal stick here. This is actually one of my primary audios that I do. I'm gonna say it again. YouTube has been acting crazy lately, guys. So I am trying to see if I can put a video. I'm gonna post at least 2 videos up there. One is a vlog and one is another video that I've been trying to. If it works, that's fine. If it don't, keep in mind it's not my fault. I'm just letting you guys know the YouTube channel. And this is before the hurricane hit, guys. This is before the hurricane has struck New York. So this is not because of the hurricane. It's a lot of other things, and it has gotten to the point where I'm getting a little annoyed that I may be posting my videos on Blimp first, because on Blimp, well, today, originally I was actually going to post a video there today, but Blimp was out, completely out. I don't know if it's on right now because I haven't checked, but it's been out for a while. So I'll try again and see if it works. It should work by tomorrow when I post this up. So if it's working fine, I'll post it on there. But in terms of videos, I may be posting a lot more videos on Blimp solely because of the fact that well, YouTube is basically, I think they're doing this on, I don't want to say that they're doing it deliberately, but it does feel like they're doing it, especially after their attempt to try to get people to use their real name on their channels. I'm not going to do that for a lot of reasons. One is for private reasons. Two, I do this for fun and entertainment. And three, there's no reason for YouTube to be asking people this. And I noticed ever since I turned it down, things have been going so wrong. I can't even post live videos on the channel. Every time I try to do it, it crashes. Another example of that is when I try to post videos, even though it goes through, they keep saying that my camera is shaky, which by the way is not true because number one, I use a laptop. And that is something that I find very amusing, because when I do look at my videos, it's fine. When it's on Blimp, it's fine. When it's on Magic Expression, when I put it directly towards them and not towards a YouTube link, it works fine. So I don't know why the hell that that YouTube all of a sudden had problems. And again, this is not just me. A couple of my fellow YouTubers have the same problem. Some worse than others. Some can't even comment on their channels. So this has been a glitch that's been going on, and to me, I find this very unacceptable for a lot of reasons. And one, Google wants to be a very a force to be reckoned with, and not only on YouTube but in general in terms of music, books, you name it. They want to be a part of that, and yet they don't seem to pay attention to the other details like maintenance, making sure that that their sites are running as good as they can possibly be. And this is becoming an issue. This is becoming a serious issue to me, because it definitely shows they don't care, and they haven't shown that they don't care. Yeah, they want to do a lot of upgrades. They want to try and be like Facebook, and that's my own opinion. They want to try and be like Facebook. They want to try and be such bigger, but yet they don't want to fix the little details that could make them a force to be reckoned with. And a lot of people's getting fed up by that. A lot of people's getting fed up by how Google's been handling the YouTube channel. I personally feel they're trying to make it like Blimp, where they want high quality production videos and only high quality production videos. Like I said, the partnership program that they had is pretty much anybody can be partner now, and that's not a coincidence. It's definitely something that they are pushing. They're just trying to make it into a moneymaker, and that's basically what that is. And look, I don't have no problem with that. They need to make their money. That's why they have commercials. I got no problem with that. I have no beef with that. What I have a problem is that you're making your site almost non-usable. There should be no reason why I can't upload my video directly towards your site. There should be no reason why my video says it's a shaky cam when I know damn well there's no shaky cam. This has been an issue, and this has been a very fed up issue to me, where a point is I'm actually considering, surprisingly, going back to Dailymotion. I haven't posted a Dailymotion video in almost 7 months. That's how long it's been since I posted a Dailymotion video, because Dailymotion to me it's really become almost non-existent to me. It's not the greatest site of all. It's definitely not better than YouTube, but I will post there again just for the sake of somebody actually seeing my videos, than posting here and having to go through issues where my video is wobbling, where there's glitches where nobody can comment on my videos, where I can't even get my my mail, to the point where I can't even upload live videos anymore. Yeah, they got the, of course, they got the Google Plus thing where you do a live stream, but the live stream is not good for me because, number one, I don't have enough fan base or a lot of people watching my videos to do a live stream. It's good for those who actually have a daily, they have a strong fan base, and they have something like some special reports to come out. Young Turks is a perfect example. They're a news site. They're dealing with news and updates, so that worked perfect for them. David Pakman show, perfect for him. The British Fish guys, the guys who does a very good job reporting WWE and Impact Wrestling, that works perfect for them. They can give us some updates right around the clock and tell us what's going on. Q&A, that works perfect for them. That's not working for me, and I think that's the big issue. And look, if you're going to give us these new toys, fine, but can you fix the ones that was actually working fine to begin with and not just ignore the fact that there's something going on? So that's been a big issue. And I know people got a little upset with me because I did not post the Jefferson video, which, by the way, was a very deep video. I didn't deep video because the way that's been happening with Herman Helmsley's remains and the fact he's not been buried yet really bothered me. But I think a lot of people was upset the fact that I did it in audio. Guys, I'm doing an audio for a reason. It's not because I'm trying to be deceitful. It's not because I'm trying to deceive the people. Normally, I don't do those kind of thumbnails. The only reason why I did the thumbnail is because it was the only way. I didn't want to have an empty space there. I'm doing an audio, and that was the best way I can do it. And that's the only way I can do it. I normally do thumbnails when I'm doing audio. That's the thing. Like I said, I'll probably put Entertainment Round up. I'll probably put one thumbnail, and that's it. But when it comes to videos, you see my face. You see the title, but you will see my face. In audio, they can't do that because you're not seeing my face. And I'm going to be doing a lot more audio in order to get my opinions across and my views across. That's probably the only way because it seems to work better with audio than it is with video. That's just how it is. Like I said, I did 2 more videos. I'm going to post it up. But like I said, I'm giving you a fair warning. It may not work as well as it is, but that's not because of my quality. I'm working on a laptop. It's because of them constantly saying my camera's shaky. There's nothing wrong with my webcam. It's on a damn laptop. So I'm letting you guys know it's on a laptop. So we'll see what happens. I'm posting the 2 videos up pretty much right after I post this one up. If it works fine, great. That means they fixed it. If not, I'm just going to be doing a lot of audio, more audio than I am with video, especially for live feeds. I'm going to be recording it, and then after I record it, I'll just paste it on the YouTube. So understand that was the reason why the Jefferson video, the Sherman Helmsley video was like that. It's because number one, I wanted to avoid that shake cam because it looks like I'm trying to do some kind of crazy effect, and that's not the case. That's on YouTube acting up. And believe me, I'm not the only one that's going through that. A lot of other people's going through that, and it all stems from the fact they're trying to, I think, force people to use their real name, and it's just not going to happen. So that's just my little rant. Normally I won't put that here on the Entertainment Roundup, but at least I'll let people know that's what's going on. And if you guys are suffering from this problem, have an idea how to fix it, I am more welcome to hear your suggestions. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'll definitely I read the comments all the time. Let me know what your feelings are. Let me know what ideas you have to fix this problem. But until then, this is J77 saying take care, be safe. I will have more information on the entertainment world soon, and talk to you soon.